Hello, we are back in Blender and we're going to keep going with our truck a little bit. We've got quite a bit of detail in it already, but maybe we'll get closer to finished and you can decide how you want to piece your truck together. If you want to leave it in pieces where you can take these parts off in your game, or if you want them to be attached where you can't. Alright, so let's get started. I think we'll start off by there's a couple other things this truck needs before we can color it. They're small things though, so we should hopefully be able to get through it today. Sorry if this isn't going fast enough for you. I'm trying to make a learning series that's slow enough and fast enough for everybody to be happy, but really hard to get the timing just right sometimes. I'm going to turn this sideways. That's the wrong way. Okay, let's try here. 90. Okay. Now, we're going to shrink it down with S. Move it up around here. And then we're going to hit it this way. Something like this. Maybe not sunk into the truck. And you can change the size on it a little bit here and there if you need to. But the idea is that it's going to be a fuel tank. And we could do it this way and make it perfectly round. And I think that's how it would be on a truck most likely. And then it'd be strapped on after that to make sure that it was attached to the truck. Just make sure you're away from everything. But there's not much we could do to kind of fix the shape on it. One thing I could think to try is we could try to go on the ends of it and do a Control B there. And it'll bevel it, and then we can kind of fix that, and it'll just give it a little more of a rounded end to the pieces. So I think that's about right, around 6 of them. So I'm just going to undo it. We'll do both sides at once, and it'll do it a little evener now that we've added the bevels first, like so. So I think that's about the right shape, and then we're going to strap it on, and those will be the fuel tanks. So if we can move it up a bit more like this, and we'll Shift D it. Actually, let's delete that. Let's do the straps for it maybe, and then we'll copy to the other side. So I haven't exactly figured out how we're going to strap it on yet. One thing I can think of, actually, Shift D, and then we go S. Okay, and follow me for a minute here, and then we go like this. Okay, and then we do one of these. We do Shift D again, and then we grab that shape, and we go Object, Bool, Difference. And that's about the right size and shape, and it kind of looks like a strap, so I think it'll work. If you need to actually put some screws or bolts, just pause the video while you do that. I think this is going to do for our look that we want. The thing is, maybe I'll make them a hair thinner, so I'll just grab them both and do them the same at the same time, and then I'll just drag them out manually one by one and just kind of move them where I want them. When I'm happy, I will probably just attach them to the tank. Maybe I'll move this one a bit more like that. Just grab them both, and then I'll grab the tank and Control J. And now we're going to Shift D it. And we'll figure out what the other side is. And I'll right click to cancel. We'll just remove the minus. And we are on the other side, and it's looking pretty good. Just having a bit of a look around. I think that's just a hair too high. Let's maybe bring those down just a little bit like that. But I think they look fairly good anyways. And they'll look good, even better when we color them. Okay, so we got a gear shifter and we need to do a dash. So maybe we'll do the gear shifter next. And again, I don't have a game plan, so if it doesn't work out, try not to be bad. Just understand I'm just kind of winging it. That's how I do my art. That's how I do my design. So try to understand that and not take it personally. Alright. Probably wondering why I'm giving out a general warning about things not working out before I finish, but some people get a little upset that I haven't planned the videos out, but it's just my style. Hopefully you're okay with it. Okay, I'm going to have to pull that somewhere where I can see it a bit better. I just can't really work on it like that. Okay, so first off, let's shrink it. And this is going to be the base of our gear shifter. Okay, so maybe just thinking. Alright, I know what we'll do. let's go to edges, and we're just going to grab these, and we're going to Shift B them a little bit. You know what? We can't do that yet. Let's Shift D it first out of edit mode, then do that. Just because the second one might be slightly different. We can't use the same shape really. So once we've done that, we're going to go like this. Something like this. Okay. And now, let's make it a little bit thicker like that for a second. Go to faces. Control B it. And we're going to go to this middle one afterwards. Just kind of lift it up just the slightest bit, like that. Okay. Now you can see it gives off a more specific shape, not Pacific. You could change it a little bit if you need to. I think it looks pretty good to me, if you're happy with it. Let's go to this one, and it also has all edges grabbed, so let's Control B. Let's make this one a perfect circle as best as you can without breaking it. Okay. Add edit mode, we'll do S. Okay, like that. Make it a bit longer like that. Then S, shrink it down again. Let's pump it through. Make sure you're kind of still in that edge, which we are. And how are we going to do the top? Let's Shift D this piece and see if we can redo it. Make it bigger. Make it thinner this way. S again to get it bigger. Something like that. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's get it up there. Sorry about the angle. This is a little weird, isn't it? Alright, let's try to make this look like the top of a gear shift if we can. We'll go to edit mode. We're already on faces, so we'll grab the top. We'll Control B it. And we'll just write it down a little bit like that. Okay? Let's make it a little more stubby maybe. And maybe we'll do the bottom a bit. It looks kind of funny. I don't like it too much on the bottom, so let's see if we can get in there and have a look at that. Just going to grab that, Control B, and I'm just going to do it a little less like that. Okay, it looks less. Maybe we'll do it a bit more than that. Control B. Something like that. I think it looks a little bit better. Hopefully you agree. This is a little bit big. You're just going to have to make these adjustments on the fly and try to make it work for you. I'm going to do that for my gear shifter. Hopefully that's okay for you. And then it should just move as you change gears. If you want to start a little farther back or forward, that should be fine. Let's move it into place and see what we got. And if they're all on the same axis, you should be able to move them into place, no problem. Alright, it looks a little big. I don't know. So, and this looks like it could be a bit more forward. So why don't we do this? We'll shrink this a little bit, like that. Move it a bit forward. So let's move it back and we'll move them together. Just to keep it exactly centered on it, right? Something like that. Looks pretty good to me. Maybe you want to change the size a little bit, but it's a big truck, so I think it's got to be a pretty big gear shifter. You go ahead and do you. I'm going to grab that, then this, and I'm going to Control J, so that's now one piece for our gear shifter. Alright, so we just need to do our dash and then our gas pedals, I guess. And maybe make a connector in case you guys want to do a trailer. And then we're going to color. And if you guys want me to keep going and make a new trailer, because I did do one in my old videos, or do axles or anything like that, let me know in the comments, and I will probably do it. I don't see why I wouldn't, but I just don't know if anybody's looking for it. I have other videos. Maybe you want a newer version, a better version. Maybe you're happy with that one. Let me know in the comments. No big deal. Okay, now we're going to have to figure this out a bit. Okay, and it's a little bit difficult for a few reasons. We got to figure out the exact angle this is sitting at. It's not 90, obviously, so let's try 60. It's pretty close. Let's try 55. Okay, that's pretty dang close. Maybe 57, 53 maybe. Okay, 53 seems to be about right. You're going to want to figure out your own. It's going to probably be a bit different. Try to move it for it's not going to be in the way of the steering wheel. going to shrink that a bit. Looked a little bit ridiculously big there. And I'm going to shrink it this way a little bit because it just doesn't need to be that thick. And we'll push it more towards the front. Okay, something like that. Maybe you want it up, maybe you want it down. I'm going to leave it in the middle. I think that's the best place. Okay, we're going to go in edit mode. I'm going to do a couple things here. Oops. Let's click off of it first. Click just on the one face. And we're going to push I. I'm going to go in a little bit. Okay, stop. Then we're going to push I again. No. No, let's not do that. Right click it and then undo. Oh, I redid that. So I once, stop about there, and then push E. Go in like that. I think this is the best way to do it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and we'll try to make sure everybody gets correct information. So that's going to be our gauge, and then you're going to place an image over top of it in your game, most likely. You're going to decide how many gauges you need. Shift D for it. And we can just move another one over here. We're going to have to hand bomb them because it's not exactly centered. Shift D, maybe you want a third one. Try to use your steering wheel maybe to center it. Something like that. Looks pretty good, I think. And then you have all your gauges ready, basically. I can put a radio in if you guys want. We can do CB. You're going to have to let me know in the comments what you guys want, but I think that's good enough for me, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these. Control J. Now, in the game that I'm using, I'm probably going to only want the doors to open. I'm probably not going to want all these parts to come off, so I'm going to go ahead and attach them to the vehicle. Control J. And we're going to attach that. Control J. If we're happy with the chairs and the size and everything, grab them both. Attach them to the vehicle. Control J. The only thing we don't want to attach really is the doors. So this piece is actually separate, so let's attach that with Control J. Okay, so that should be the whole back end. We do these two, they can attach, Control J. You're going to want to leave your tires to free spin because you're probably going to want them to move around for it looks like they're moving. I will shut the door unless you guys give me more commands to make more things or you want more details. So I'm just going to shut it like that. Move it perfectly in. You're going to have to adjust it once it's in your game anyways, but just for aesthetics of painting, we'll do it like that. Looks pretty good to me. Looks like a nice little truck to us. Well, to me anyways. So I guess we'll go into coloring. And unless you guys want me to add a trailer next, but we'll see what you think. So each wheel, unfortunately, is probably going to have to be colored individually. But what we could do is just do one and move them in place of the other ones, because they're just kind of hand bombed anyways. So maybe we'll do that just to make things easier. Let's go into our coloring up there and then down here. And then we're going to go new. And we're going to make it black because that's the color of rubber. Okay. And then we are going to go into edit mode. And we're going to go L. Nope, sorry. We're going to click on this face. Then we're going to click here. And we're going to go to Control, 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 Shift, Control, 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 Shift. And then we're going to make this plus new, and we're going to make it a second color of silver. Assign. Okay. Now we got our tire. We're going to go out of edit mode. We're going to grab this one, and we're going to delete them. And then we're going to grab this one. We're going to Shift D. And we only had them kind of set in place, so just try to center them as best as you can. Oops. You know what? We're not going to be able to do that. Let's delete these. Shift delete that one. We're going to have to color this one, plus new. It's exactly lined up with the front. It should be at least still because we didn't move it. Make that black. Oops. Did I do the wrong one? Sorry, my bad. This is the one we want it to be black. And we need to be in edit, assign. And then we'll click on some faces in here. Control, 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 control. Shift, and we got them all now. We'll do our second color like we had to do on the other side. Make it gray. And we will assign it, okay? Alright, it might be different colors, but we're just assigning a slot, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go out of edit mode, we'll grab both sides, and then we're going to Shift D it, okay? And then we're going to drag these into place together, for they're exactly the same on either side, and it doesn't look funny. That's the only reason I wanted to do it this way. Do it again, make sure they're exactly centered. Take your time, pause the video if you need to, not a big deal. And we can also add axles if you want, but you guys let me know in the comments. So they're done. Now we can do the truck. We can also do the doors. Maybe we'll do the doors first. Plus, new. Let's do it red, okay? Just for show. I can't find a good red now. It's pink. There you go. There's a nice red. Edit mode, of course. Assign. Alright, perfect. So now we need to add a couple more colors to each door. So do new. And we'll make it blue to represent our window. If that's okay with you guys, do the same. If not, doesn't really matter. We're just assigning a color slot, but do what you need to. Alright, over the handle, we're going to go click off everything, push L over the handle, and push L over this, and push L over this. We're going to make these chrome. Hopefully you're okay with that. You don't have to be. You can do you can make them all different colors if you want. But that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm just going to click on just this face, and I'm going to give it its own color because we're actually going to make that a mirror. And again, we can make it gray, but I'm just going to make it a different blue right now to know that that's a different color. Okay, so we're done our doors. Pause it if you're not, and you need to do more. That's not a big deal. Flip to the other side. We're going to go into edit mode again. We're going to plus, new. Make it red, similar to the other side. Doesn't matter, though. We're just assigning a color. And then we're going to go on the window. I probably want to do, actually, is do both sides of the window. I kind of forgot about that. These windows are two-sided, so you're going to want to do them together. So we're going to have to go back on the other window, but we'll do that. Plus, and we're going to make them blue to represent a glass. Perfect. Then L over here. L, L. Plus, new. We're going to make that silver again to represent silver when we put it in the game. And then we're going to make this one a new one. Plus, new. We're just going to make it a weird shade of blue to represent a mirror. And this one got changed by accident. Let's fix that up. Okay, that should be right. There we go. And we got to flip on to this side. And I think I did the same thing with the glass. Or I made it the gray color when I shouldn't have. My bad. Make sure you got everything colored right, otherwise your programmer's going to be awfully mad at you. I'm always doing that to Queen. Poor girl. Alright, so we got that all set. Looking really good, guys. Alright, so we can switch to the truck now, and we can do new in edit mode, of course, and we'll make it red just to match the rest of the truck for our paint job. And we can slowly just give things other colors after that. So L over here. Oops. Is that grill not attached? It's not, is it? Okay, we can attach this grill. Control J. That's better. Back into edit mode. Sorry about that. I forgot to do that. L, L, L. Go plus, new, or make that silver again. Because it's going to be aluminum colors. Maybe you want to do it different. You can go ahead. We're going to click this inside piece here and here. Plus, new. We're going to make that color of yellow to represent our headlights and remind us when we bring it in game those are headlights. So we got glass here and here. It's two-sided or is it one-sided? It looks like it's one-sided. Okay, so we'll just do them blue. So we'll do plus, new. And I just made the doors two-sided because I tried to make them a little thicker for if you're opening and shutting them, they just look like they're a little more real for you. Hopefully that works for you guys. Let me know in the comments if it doesn't. So we got that done. What else we could do is do this bumper. Let's get ourselves in a good position to see it well. Okay, so let's grab that piece and control, grab across here, and control, grab here, and then shift, then control, and then we can grab it on the bottom, control. We got the whole thing. Looks good. We don't have any extra pieces. Plus new. I'm going to do black color on this again. But it's a different black for we're able to change our minds if we want. Do the back bumper. Click off everything. Push L over the back bumper. And we will also do it that color so the two bumpers match when we change the colors. Got to do these. L to L. Could make them silver like the other one. I think that's what I will do. And then we'll make these yet a third black color for we can change their color if we need to. So we can do plus, new, and then we'll take this and we'll just do a little bit different of a black, and that way it's just a different color slot in case we want to do something else in game, or silver, or different color silver. Then you have that option. It's just an extra slot. But I think we're pretty much done our truck. The one thing we're missing is axles, but I don't know if you guys need them. I can throw them on. It's not a big deal. And if you want me to do a new transport trailer, we can definitely do that. Let me know in the comments what you guys are after. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you thumbs up, because I need those thumbs up for other people can find my videos. And I'll keep making them for you guys. If you got something specifically, make sure to let me know that in the comments too, that you'd like to see that. And Happy New Year's. Thank you guys for watching. We'll come back and see you next.